Hi my loves, welcome back, welcome to my channel, welcome if you guys are new. I have been meaning to do this video for such a long time, and I figure whilst we're kind of in the mood of doing reset videos, I did my bookshelf reset, everything like that, a big book unhaul, I figure it would be the perfect time to go through my entire Goodreads TBR. I of course was inspired by Jamie doing this. She's done a few of these videos and I just think they're so smart to continuously update these kind of apps, because I feel like it's one that you can just, it's like, you know, your TikTok saved or something, you just have so many book recommendations saved. So I figure we can go through them together today and basically just go through this TBR, talk about whether I am still interested in even reading these books, why I put them on my TBR, and just kind of clean out my Goodreads a little bit. Now, full disclosure, I used to be a very avid Goodreads user. I have since, in the past year or so, become more adept to Fable. I like Fable to track my reads more, purely for tracking my reads and just because it's a bit more aesthetic and gives you like genre breakdowns and everything like that. But I try and keep Goodreads as up to date as I can, and I really use Goodreads to get book recommendations, to look up reviews, and to keep a TBR going. So whenever I see something, I can add it to my TBR. Now, in saying that, we have 48 books to go through today, which for like a non-physical TBR, I feel like that's not awful. But I think we're gonna start at the very beginning. So like when I first joined Goodreads, this could be interesting, okay? I have been on Goodreads for years now, and when I first joined, I had very different reading taste to what I do now. Just jump straight into it, to be honest. Let's go back to my very beginning. Okay, so when I joined Goodreads, I think it was when I was a teenager and I was watching a lot of booktube, and that's kind of where I got my book recommendations from, I guess you would say. That's where I got most of my stuff from. So some of these are quite funny. Okay, first of all, I thought I'd read this when I was younger, but like in high school, but I don't think I ever actually fully read it. I don't know about this one. I actually do want to read it at some point. I love classics. Like, I actually do love a good classic. So I think I'm going to leave that on. All right, this one, Haunting of House Hill. I don't know about this one. I never actually read this. I didn't even realize it was a book until I looked it up, but I watched a bit of the TV show. Guys, a TV show has never freaked me out. That one truly did. Like, I got nightmares from it. So I think I'm going to remove this one. I also just feel like I was in a very mini horror phase. Considering the next one is The Exorcist. Yeah, I don't think I want to read that either. I went through this really mini, like, oh, I'm going to be trying to be cool and read different genres and read some horror. I think that was just after I read It by Stephen King. Don't know why I was doing that, to be completely honest. I didn't love it. Okay, this next one, Library of Legends. I actually specifically remember this one because, oh, who is it? One of my like favorite OG YouTubers who still creates content, and I still get so many recommendations from her, recommended it. And it is Asian mythology. Not the highest rating in the world, a 3.79. China, 1937. When Japanese bombs begin falling on the city of Nanjing, a 19-year-old Hu Lian and her classmates at the Minghua University are ordered to flee, and a convoy of students, faculty, and staff must walk 1,000 miles, oh yes, I remember this now, to the safety of China's western provinces, a journey marred by the constant threat of aerial attacks. Lian and her classmates have been entrusted with a priceless treasure, a 500-year-old collection of myths and folklore known as the Library of Legends. It sounds really, really interesting. I think I'm going to leave this one on my TBR. It just sounds really fascinating, to be completely honest, and the genres say it is historical fiction, but it also has fantasy elements in it, like magical realism. So I think that sounds good, to be completely honest. I think I'm going to keep it on. Okay, The Weight of Feathers by Anne-Marie McLemore. Cannot remember this one. Okay, it's a young adult fantasy, magical realism. For 20 years, the Palomas and the Corbius have been rivals and enemies, locked in an escalating feud for over a generation. Both families are making their living as traveling performers in competing shows. The Palomars swimming in mermaid exhibitions, the Corbius former tightrope walkers, performing on the tallest trees they can find. This kind of sounds interesting. I'm confused as like, it sounds like a really interesting prologue. Kind of curious to see the ratings and stuff. So a 4-star, I don't always do this, but okay, they're very, very mixed, but we do have quite a few 2-star reviews. Okay, no. To be honest, they're pretty average. You know what? Let's keep that on because I truly have not heard very much of that, and that sounds really fun. Okay, this one, Flames of Chaos. I remember adding this when I was very new to romantasy, and to be honest, I don't have much of a desire to read this one anymore. It just sounds like you know, a lot of other books I've read before. Arya and her sisters return to the human realm of the Haven Falls to find one of their own that's gone missing. They soon discover that things have changed in the human realm and that nothing is what it seems, including Nox, the egotistical, self-centered, frustrating, gorgeous man who declared himself king during their absence. Sparks fly when the two enter a fiery battle of wills, and Arya learns that she is more than just a witch in the Hecate bloodline. She is much, much more. It just sounds like a lot of things that I've read before, and I've seen a lot of people read this that I have pretty similar taste to, and they're not obsessed with it. So I think we're actually going to remove that one from this list, just because I don't know. You guys know that I haven't been kind of gravitating towards that as much. Okay, Love Stories by Trent Dalton. He is an Australian author. I've read a few of his works before. I didn't love them, but this one was interesting to me, and I still, I put this on in 2022, guys. This one was interesting to me because it is basically just a collection of people's love stories, and it's almost like letters, I think. That sounds really interesting to me, so I think I might keep that one on there. I just I don't know, that sounds really romantic and beautiful. Never Let Me Go. Yes, I need to read that. I just, that's a classic. I feel like we all know that one. I don't know why I haven't read that. No, I do. I'm a little bit scared that I'm gonna get traumatized by it, to be completely honest. All right, you can see my love for Tolkien has been going on for a long time now. I didn't realize that you could just click that and it was gonna show up. How did I do that? Unfinished Tales by J.R. Tolkien. These are just works within his world. Of course, I want to read this. E-series, it's Tolkien. The Christie Affair. Now, I put this on my list because it was a Reese Witherspoon book club pick. I actually think I have it on my physical TBR. It's just at home. At my parents' house, I think. This one kind of sounded interesting. Again, as I said, I got this because it was a Reese Witherspoon book club pick. But why would the world's most famous mystery writer disappear for 11 days? What makes a woman desperate enough to destroy another woman's marriage? How deeply can a person crave revenge? In 1925, Miss Nan Dio infiltrated the rarefied world of author Agatha Christie. We love Agatha Christie on this channel, by the way. I love her. And her husband, Archie. In every way, she became a part of their life. First, both Christies. Then, just Archie. Soon, Nan became Archie's mistress, luring him away from his devoted wife, desperate to marry him. Nan's plot didn't begin with the day she met Archie and Agatha. Ooh, it began decades before in Ireland. The nun, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, by the way. I've never heard of it. But I'm guessing if it's an Irish name, it might be, they have just some very different pronunciation. When she was a young girl, she and the man she loved were star-crossed couple who were destined to be together. To be honest, this is telling me a lot more than I probably would like. I want to go in with a little bit of mystery, but that sounds really good. I completely forgot about that one. You know what? Let's keep that on. All right, The Roughest Draft. Now this one isn't intriguing me as much. I think I got this rec from Steph when obviously I still watch her videos, but I was obsessed with her videos and I was really entering my romance era. And this is just about a literary couple. I think I was reading a lot of Emily Henry at the moment, so this just kind of sounded like something I would like. But since then, I think it's actually a co-authored. It says they were co-writing literary darlings until they hit a plot hole that turned their lives upside down. 3 years ago, Katrina Freeling and Nathan were the biggest literary stars on the horizon. They're co-written, I don't know if the author's actually co-written then, maybe it's just the characters. They're co-written books topping bestseller lists. But on the heels of their great success, they ended their partnership on bad terms for reasons none of them would indulge to the public. They haven't spoken since and never plan to, except that they have one final book due on the contract. Sounds interesting, but I also I don't know, I'm not really leaning towards it at the moment, and I feel like I've got other romances. You know, we're trying to be brutal here. Funny you should ask. This one as well, I already know I'm not really drawn to. I just remember putting it on when it first came out. I think it came out in 2022 when it first came out. Again, we're following writers, a romance novel. I just have heard a lot of things about this one that have kind of made me draw away from it. I just don't think it's one that you have to read. I feel like I should speed this up. I forgot how many we have to get through. Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. Fun thing is, I actually remember starting this one in the year 2022. I got it from the library and I ended up DNFing it. This was back in the days when I actually could DNF a book. It just wasn't for me. I do like Christina Lauren. I like their books, but I wasn't loving this one. It's like they go in for a hike in the Wild kind of vibes. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Yes, I actually still want to read this one. Wow, I didn't realize it's been on my TBR for so long. Oh wait, I fully just skipped these ones. If We Were Villains. Look, I'm going to keep this on my TBR at the moment, but I don't know about this one because I know we are based off Shakespeare. Like, it's kind of based around the idea of Shakespeare, and I'm just not a Shakespeare kind of person. It says, Oliver Marks just served 10 years in jail for a murder he may or may not have committed. On the day he's released, he's greeted by the man who put him in prison. Detective Colborne is retiring, but before he does, he wants to know what really happened a decade ago. One of the 7 young actors studying Shakespeare at the elite college, Oliver and his friends play the same roles on stage and off. Hero, villain, tyrant, temperist. When the casting changes and the secondary characters usurp the stars, the play spills dangerously over to real life, and one of them is found dead. Yeah, I don't know. I've just never been really interested in it purely because of, I'm going to keep it on because I know, like, I hear raving reviews about it, but purely because of the Shakespeare side of things, because I used to study Shakespeare in school and this wasn't for me. The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I've read The Guest List by Lucy Foley and really liked it, and I have The Paris Apartment on my TBR. Still haven't gotten to it. I see really mixed reviews on this one, so please let me know if you've read it. It is a thriller, but I see a lot of people say that it's not as thrilling, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't keep you guessing. Like, it's an intriguing storyline, but it's not that addictive. So I'm a little bit about that one. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I actually have a few Carly Fortune books on here, I think. I haven't read anything by Carly Fortune and I just really want to. And I remember when this came out, I was like, that sounds really good. I think it's like Friends to Lovers. The reason I haven't picked up anything else by her is the fact that a lot of her books are like interconnected. This almost has 1 million ratings. That's crazy. I do really, really want to get to that one. I think it's like based in a holiday home. I don't know. It sounds really good and apparently it's really good. I've heard only great things about it, to be completely honest. Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter. I can safely say I want to remove this one. I know this is like an extremely unpopular opinion, but I'm not a Lynn Painter gal. Don't love her books. I think they're fun, but I've never read one. I've read few that I've actually been obsessed with. Like, even better than the movies. I thought it was a cute, fun YA romance, but it didn't like stand out to me or anything. So yeah, I'm a little bit, I don't know about that one. The Last Time We Met. I do not know what this one is about. I like genuinely cannot remember this one. Maybe I just saw it on Goodreads one time. This slow burn friends to lovers second chance romance. That's a lot of tropes just thrown at you straight away is what readers are craving right now. There's literally like nothing else about it. I'm really confused. Okay, well, guess we're gonna remove that one off the list. That's so random. I genuinely like have never heard of that one. The Bride Test. I do not remember this one either. For fans of The Love Hypothesis, from the critically acclaimed author of The Kiss Quotient comes a romantic novel about a love that crosses international borders and boundaries. Kai has no feelings. Well, he feels irritation when people move his things. Thinks he's deflective. Kai's family, however, understanding that his autism means he processes emotions differently. As he steadfastly avoids relationships, his mother takes matters into her own hands and returns to Vietnam to find him the perfect bride. Wait, that kind of sounds kind of fun. You know what? Let's keep that on there. That sounds like a fun little romance. Okay, I don't know why Queen of Darkness is on here because I have read that book, so I'll fix that up later. Move it to a different list. But okay, I definitely am going to remove Indigo Ridge. I actually did start this one back in 2022. It was on Kindle, so I just read it on Kindle. I didn't read it all. Actually, I read a few chapters and then ended up DNFing it back in the days when I DNF'd. This was just a small town interconnected romance series. Again, I was very much in my romance era and I just did not really like the characters. Like, they didn't, like the Eden series as a whole really didn't intrigue me. I think one of their characters was like a cop or something. Quincy is our main protagonist. She is chief of police. Yeah, I just got a vibe. In a jam, this again, small town romance. I'm really past my small town romance moment, I think. I kind of went through and added a bunch. I remember this, like you can see. I feel like a lot of these I don't need to go through the whole prologue for because some of them were just like, they're just not for me anymore. Clearly my reading taste has really, really changed. The Thursday Murder Club. This actually recently got an adaptation, didn't it? I think my partner's read this one because we have it on our bookshelf. I don't think he loved it. So I don't know. I might keep it on there for now, but please let me know if you have read this one. I know it is about like an elderly kind of group that come together to solve cold cases. I have heard that it can be a bit slow. Voice of Brayshaw High. Girls like you aren't exactly welcomed at a place like this, so keep your head down and look the other way. Those were the exact words of my social worker when she dropped me off at my newest hellhole. I actually do remember this one. I think we've passed that time in my life, in my reading journey. Some of these are kind of hilarious. This is what I mean by like, I was really into Goodreads and then I started just like slowly, the Set on You, I remember this. This is about like an influencer romance, a gym influencer. I don't think this one's for me either. I just haven't been reading that many romances, and when I do read romances, I'm definitely more intrigued in the like ones that have a little bit of a deeper meaning to them, ones that we have a little bit more plot to. Okay, Daughter of No Worlds. I actually still haven't read this. I have it on my bookshelf and I still haven't gotten to it, and I really, really need to. It's a fantasy romance, and I just remember it being so big in like 2023. Former slave fighting for justice, a reclusive warrior who no longer believes it exists, and a dark magic that will entangle their fates. Ripped from the forgotten homeland as a child, I do not know how to pronounce that name, but she has learned to survive with nothing but sharp wit and a touch of magic. But the night she tries to buy her freedom, she barely escapes with her life. Desperate to save the best friend she left behind, she joins the Journey of Orders, the most powerful organization of the magic wielders in the world. I actually want to know what you guys think of this one, because if it's gonna like make me fall back in love with romancy, I will be very, very happy. Again, I don't know why this one's on this list. I have read The Ashes in Starkhurst, which is the second book to Serpent in the Wings of Night. I didn't love it. I really liked the first one. Like, I loved the first one, but yeah, the second one really didn't do it for me. Sorry, I'm trying to go through these quicker because I just realized how many we've got to get through. We Hunt the Flame. I have heard so many good things about this one, and I know a lot of people say if you like kind of like, not Jade City, oh my god, City of Brass, that you'll really enjoy this one. People lived because she killed. People died because he lived. Zafaria is the hunter, disguising herself as a man when she braves the cursed forest of Oz to feed her people. Nazir is the Prince of Death, assassinating those foolish enough to defy his autocratic father. If Zafaria was exposed as a girl, all of her achievements would be rejected. If he displayed his compassion, his father would punish him in the most brutal of ways. That sounds really good, actually. We're keeping that on there. We're getting close now. Okay, we've already put it down to 36, so we can go back to this one. Okay, Empire of Exiles. Again, this was a romantasy I put in my TBR a while ago. I don't think I'm into it anymore. Magic, mystery, and revolution collide in this fantasy epic where an unlikely team of mages, scribes, and archivists must band together to unearth the conspiracy that might topple their empire. I don't know, maybe I'll leave it on there for now. Actually, you know what? Let's look at a few reviews because I haven't really heard much about this one. Okay, it's like a pretty decent reviews. A fantasy story that involves mystery, richly developed history. I do love a historical kind of fiction. It's very like varied, to be completely honest. It sounds like it's got a bit of history in it though, so maybe let me know if you've read it. Marriage for One. I just remember there was one specific vlog, and I can't remember who it was that I was watching, and they were reading Marriage for One and really, really liked it. Maybe it was like Alexa Ray. I don't think I would enjoy it anymore just because this was back in 2023. My preferences have changed for romances, but yeah, I have like a very vivid memory of getting that recommendation. That's so funny. Moving on, here is a lot more recent. So like 2025 onwards is when I kind of started remembering that I can add books to my TBR again, and I was looking at a lot of like the books that were nominated for Goodreads and everything like that. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V. Schwab. Of course, I want to read that. Vampire Fantasy by V. Schwab. I actually really want to get to that really soon because it's like it's autumn at the moment. I really want to read this one in the autumn because I just feel like, guys, vampires and V. Schwab in the autumn, like the perfect combination. Okay, Red City, definitely want to read this one. Of course, this is recommended by Jamie, and apparently if you like Jade City, you'll like this one. Guys, I love Jade City. I don't even know what this one is about too much. Why don't we do a little preview? I think it's a standalone though. The Godfather meets the magicians. Wow. Alchemy is hidden in the art of transformation, an exclusive power welded by crime syndicates that market to the world's elite in the form of sand, a drug that enhances those who take it into a more perfect version of a more beautiful, more charismatic, simply more. Interesting. So yeah, I kind of see how that is like Jade City, and then we're following the daughter of a poor single mum, Sam, who will do anything to make her way into the ranks of the Grand Central in search of a better life. Okay, yeah, definitely keeping this one on. The Devils. This one I purely got from the Goodreads Choice Awards. This one definitely seemed outside my comfort zone of what I would usually read, but I'm very intrigued by it, and it was on Goodreads Choice Awards, so usually that's a good sign. not all the time. But holy work sometimes requires unholy deeds. Brother Diaz has been summoned to the sacred city where he is certain a commendation and grand holy assignment awaits him. I think it's like a bit of horror fantasy. It seems really outside my comfort zone as well, but we're going to keep it on here. I think a lot of these I will be keeping on here, to be completely honest. Yeah, most of these, we're just going through my TBR now. The names, also on Goodreads Choice Awards, this just sounds really interesting. It basically is a contemporary fiction, and I think it's like different timelines of a child, and if they were named different names, like if they had different names and how that affects the outcome of their life. I do think this one's quite sad, but it sounds really amazing, and I've heard so many incredible things about it. Hazelthorn, I have heard so many people say that this is very similar to kind of like belladonna vibes. Oh, it says a deeply unsettling and yet haunting, beautiful tale of murder and botanical body horror. What is botanical body horror? See, this one is like a little bit iffy for me as well, because I think it is a standalone, but I think it was in the YA section of Goodreads. Yeah, you guys know I'm not big on horror. I'm not big on gore, but I'm like, if it's a YA, surely it's okay. My Friends by Frederick Backman. I need to read this so bad. I just want to finish the Bedtime series first. And Frederick Backman kind of got like, I love him, but I always cry in his books. They're always really hard. The Academy by Ellen Hildebrand. I have never read an Ella Hildebrand book, and this is co-authored by her daughter, I think. From what I know, this is a very drama-filled kind of book. I love a drama. Like, I really do. I love gossip and everything. It's so fun to read about, not in real life, but like, you know, the favorites vibes, I love that. Know My Name. Okay, this one I actually added because it is one of the highest rated books on Goodreads, and I had so many people say that you should read this after I mentioned it. The blurb says, she was known to the world as Emily Doe when she stunned millions with a letter. Brock Turner has been sentenced to 6 months in county jail after he was found sexually assaulting her on Stanford's campus. Her victim impact statement was posted on BuzzFeed, where it instantly went viral. Viewed by 11 million people within 4 days, it was translated globally and read on the floor of Congress. It inspired changes in California and the recall of the judge in the case. Wow, that's incredible. Is it fiction? It might be a nonfiction. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, it's a nonfiction memoir. So I don't read a lot of nonfiction memoirs, but I really, really want to, and that honestly sounds incredible. Yeah, a 4.68 rating with 260,000 ratings. That's ridiculously high. Coming up here, we have The Women by Kristen Hanna. I just need to read more Kristen Hanna, to be completely honest. But again, she's one of those authors that I know I'm going to cry when I read. So I just have to prepare myself. We are going a bit rapid fire here. The Last King of Fairy by Cassandra Clare. This is just a newest release. It's coming out later this year, and I cannot wait to read it, of course. The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. Now, it's like a boyfriend and then boyfriend's best friend kind of love triangle situation. And I've been seeing so many people actually be kind of a little bit disappointed in this one. I love Abby Jimenez. I love her books, but I'm really scared to read this one now. I'm going to keep it on, obviously, because I like want to, but I've just seen so many people really disappointed by it. So that makes me really scared to go into it, even though I love her. The Escape Game by Marissa Meyer. This is just like, when I see Marissa Meyer, I really want to read more of her books. And this is a YA mystery. She wrote like the Cinder series and everything like that. And this just sounds like so much fun. It is just a mystery YA murder set in an escape room. Like, that sounds really fun. I need to get to that one. Wild Dark Shore. Contemporary fiction, I believe. I've been seeing so many people rave about this book, and I am really confused. I know it is set off an island that is kind of close to Australia, I believe, and it's about a family that lives on this island and basically propagates all these seeds so that if something happens and a seed goes extinct in a part of the world, they have like they can back it up, I guess. And then one day a woman washes up on this island, and I think it gets a bit like thrilling. Sounds really interesting. My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. I need to read more Alice Feeney. This one sounds so interesting. Basically, our protagonist goes out on a run, and when she comes back, she answers the door, but it's like an imposter version of her. And her husband's like, what are you doing? Like, who are you? He doesn't recognize her because he thinks that this other woman is his wife. Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I actually saw one of you guys that I'm friends with on Goodreads reading this, and I just read Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. Really, really liked it. Her writing feels like you're watching a chick flick or something, so I definitely want to get to that one. I just want to read more by her. I feel like she's my new romance author. Jazz a Crown. Guys, it's embarrassing that I haven't read this yet, but I didn't read it because it only came out last year, and I read The Jazzed Air like years ago, and so I'm like, I really need to get to this one, but please convince. I know it's really good. I know that it's really good. It's an Egyptian-inspired fantasy romance, by the way, and it's only a duology. Into the Blue. Now, this one is a contemporary fiction that I have been seeing so many people rave about recently, and it just kind of intrigued me. I know it's a really sad one as well. It says an epic, decade-spanning love story that blazes through the world of acting and comedy charts a connection so powerful that it might just break space and time itself. I actually don't, oh, it says like our main protagonist is a writer for SNL. That's so funny. I guess that's why like the comedy and acting comes in. Please let me know if you've read this one again. I know I'm just like asking advice for so many of these, but that sounds, I've seen so many people be obsessed with it. And then finally, Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. Now, I actually wasn't sure whether to read this one because I thought it might have been interconnected to all of her other books, but I saw beautiful Lottie said that it's not interconnected, so I can read it as a standalone, which is exciting. I actually have this one physically as well, so that makes it a little bit easier. Okay, we got it down to 35, so we got over 10 books off. I think that's pretty good. For me, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I have been meaning to do this for such a long time, so I'm glad we finally got to it. Bit of a speed run at the end there, but just because all of those I've been like adding very, very recently, so they're still like kind of on the top of my priority. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you had fun. Sorry, I just asked for your advice the entire time. But yeah, I hope you had fun following along. Our reset continues, I guess. But yeah, thank you for watching to the end of this video. If you have, I love you guys so, so much, and I will see you in my next video.